Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, April 22nd, and the hunt is on. The hunt is on, everybody. No, not me. I'm not going hunting. But there is a hunt in my backyard. And it's attracting a lot of hunters into my yard. I believe that I have a gopher or a mole problem in my backyard because I am seeing mounds and mounds of dirt in my yard. You know, just in the lawn, by the fence. And today I just walked outside and 3 cats were in my yard. I don't own any cats. I'm not a cat person. I don't own cats. I've never had a pet cat, pet kitten, nothing. But I walked out and I just saw those cats waiting at that mound of dirt, waiting for lunch, dinner. You know, who knows? But I'm thinking to myself, oh, wow. I mean, this is kind of a good thing, right? Like, I'm not going to kill the mole. I'm afraid to kill the mole. I'm afraid to kill the gopher. Like, I wouldn't have the balls to kill the gopher. Like, it'd be gross as hell. So this is kind of like, well, I'm not going to do anything with this. Either the cats get him or they don't. But it's so weird because you just see them walking on the prowl, like almost like they're lions or tigers. It's pretty interesting. It's like almost like you're watching an episode of Animal Planet. Like, oh, look at this. It's a tiger. You can see the tiger's is hunting his prey. One of the most deadly killing machines on all the planet. He hasn't eaten in a few days now. He's hungry. He needs to provide for his family. This is where the male cat proves to the females that he is worth to have children, to have kittens, for the future of the species to survive. I began with Australian, and I believe I ended with Scottish. Maybe Irish. Yeah, it might have been Irish. But you get the point. I'm witnessing nature in my own backyard. And, you know, we see nature all the time. You go outside, you see a bird. Oh, nature. You see, like, again, if you have a pet. Oh, nature. This is my dog, my cat, my hamster, my parrot. In some cases, for some people, my tiger. Nature. But there was this one time I saw in my backyard, not kidding, on my fence or on my neighbor's fence, just like on the fence, like just chilling out, hanging out, saying, hey, what's up? I'm me. This is me. It was a falcon. Just there, like minding his own business, just with the grace of his own self. Look at me, I'm a falcon. Everybody look at me, I'm a falcon. I am a falcon. And I've never seen a falcon up close like that before. Like, I've seen a falcon like maybe like, you know, if you go out into the country, just like, you know, just flying above, looking at prey, looking for prey to dive bomb and, you know, take and eat because he's hungry. And you think about like, animals must have it rough. Like a wild animal must have it like so rough. Imagine that, like animals in like Africa, Asia, you know, even in like, you know, wild places like Yellowstone and the Rocky Mountains, even in like California, like in the Sierra Nevadas. Wild animals must have it. They not must, but they have it so hard. They have to hunt and eat, and none of that is provided. It is all, you gotta go do it, bro. You don't do it, you're gonna die. You're going to starve. It's going to be a painful death. And they have to hunt and be alert on like an empty stomach just so they can get some food. Like me, when I haven't eaten, if I haven't like had some food, not even like a snack, maybe even like not even water, I am off my game. Completely off my game. I can't function. I can't really like do anything physical. My stomach is hurting. I'm cranky. Nothing will function if I'm hungry, hangry, even to the point where like you're starving. Nothing will work. And these animals do this every day. They just sit there. I need food or I'm going to die. Me, I'm like, oh, what's in the fridge? What's in the pantry? What can I make that I've already bought that is just sitting there for me to eat? Do I want a Hot Pocket? A sandwich? Or do I want to go out and buy something? Or maybe, even better, have it delivered. Yeah. We've gotten super lazy. Super, super lazy with that stuff. First began back in the day when you can get pizza delivered. And then Chinese delivered. Which is weird. Like, you would see like a show like in like Seinfeld or one of those old like 90s sitcoms, or like they order Chinese to get delivered. I never lived anywhere where that was even like possible, like really. If I think about it. I've never like thought like, should I get Chinese ordered for delivery? No, never really. I mean, pizza, yeah, because that's just like what you grew up with. Like, it's in a box. It's like it's like automatically a party or a big group food item. So like one of them, you think about it, just get it delivered. It'll be at the door within a half an hour to an hour, whatever they say. And then boom, we got pizza. Don't got to go out and purchase it and then bring it back home. They bring it to me in a heated, bag. And nowadays, we got Uber Eats, we got DoorDash, you got Grubhub. I mean, we have so many things and services that just bring us food because we don't want to get up and go get it now. And I, for one, am not going to lie to you. I have fallen for that. Like everybody else has. Everybody else. And the pandemic has only raised my ability to keep getting food delivered. Like, it's crazy. Like, I would be so lazy and so just not wanting to get up and go get my food that I would order one Little Caesars pizza. Just one. And knowing that Little Caesars is like one of like the lowest tier of pizza. Okay, maybe Pizza Hut is, but Little Caesars is definitely like one of the lower tiers of pizza, which is like not even expensive. And I'm going to say, nah, I want it delivered, which completely adds money to that cost. I mean, you talking about a delivery fee, a tax, and a tip. So your $5 pizza, maybe $6.99 pizza, could end up being maybe $13, $14. And that might be a bit much, but like maybe like 12, maybe 12 to 10, around there. Almost like doubling the price of the pizza. Because you're so lazy and you just don't want to get up. And you don't want to drive and you don't want to go in there and get your pizza. And you fast forward now, I want to get everything delivered. Burgers, burritos, Chinese, seafood, potentially. I mean, if you lived like in New York or LA, where there are so many other bigger restaurants and just a plethora of restaurants and like a lot more of DoorDash and Uber Eats and like Grubhub employees, I mean, I would imagine like it wouldn't be as frowned upon if you lived in like, unlike me, like that lives in a small town. And I'm glad I don't live there because I would never leave my house. I would never leave it. I would just be getting shit delivered day in and day out. And hopefully, like, if I ever am at that point and I am getting food delivered and getting it delivered like at a high rate, that I've got a good enough job to afford that, because when that bill comes, it's never good. The bill is always the thing that you look at and you're like, did I have to eat? Did I need to eat food yet? Could I have waited another day? Then you're like, no, bro, you gotta eat. That's a bit extreme, but like, you think about it. You look at the bill and you see, oh, what did I get? Oh, one pizza. It costs $5, but I ended up paying $14.70 something. And then you're like, oh, I don't like, I need to make this pizza last an entire week. like you just feel like, I don't know if that's just me, but whenever I pay for something like a food or a product, like let's just start with food. Like if I buy food, I expect to like eat like everything on that plate. Everything. And even if it's like not that good. And I'll give you an example. One day, me and my brother went to Jack in the Box to get some food. And we to the drive-thru, brought it back home, and ate it. And once I was done, I told him, like, hey, that actually wasn't that good. Like, did you like it? He's like, yeah, I liked it. I was like, huh, really? I did not like it. Then he looks at me, he's like, and then why did you eat it? I'm like, well, I paid for it. He's like, so? If you didn't like it, then why'd you eat it? And then, like, we got into this big argument, like, well, even if it isn't, like, that good, like, I didn't say, like, that I hated it, that I thought it was, like, terrible, that was, like, the worst thing that I've ever eaten. I didn't hate it. I just said that it wasn't that good. But I did pay for it. I bought it. I used money for it. That money is no longer in my bank account. I'm going to eat it. And he couldn't believe, like, if you don't like it, if you're gonna trash on it, if you're gonna say it's not that good, then don't eat it. Don't eat it. Now, if he hears this, if he listens, he might tell you that I told the story in a different way, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I am pretty sure that I said it wasn't that good, and I still ate it, and I wasn't not gonna not eat it, because I did end up paying for it. Which, to me, if you pay for it, you better either eat it, use it, or enjoy it. You should never hate it. You should never hate it, because when you buy something and you end up hating it, it leaves a pit in your stomach, just a big pit of pain and anguish and of, oh, what have I done? Oh no, what have I done? I feel sick. I feel like I wasted money. Oh, it could have been used for something else. Oh God. Oh, dear heaven. What have I done? That's why I never really buy things. I never really like I have shoes, right? I have these old pair of shoes that I've been wearing for like, if I can pinpoint the exact date or the exact time period of years that I've been wearing the same pair of shoes for, I think I would point them at maybe 7 to 8 years, maybe, I think. They're pretty old, and I wear them, frequently. And everybody tells me, like, buy new shoes. Buy new shoes. I'm like, no, I have a pair. I have two. One of them for, like, one is tennis shoes and one are, like, Vans. So, like, they keep telling me, like, buy new shoes, buy new shoes. And my brother has, like, 4 pairs of shoes. And I'm just thinking, like, bro, you have so many shoes. Why? Like, what's the point of spending all that money on shoes, like, and so many pairs of shoes? I don't get it. I think that that's a waste of money. Like, I just bought a hat recently, and I'm wearing the hat, like, not right now, but, like, I've been wearing the hat, like, all day for a couple days now, and I feel like if I take off the hat or don't wear the hat, then I'm not using my hat, and I just bought it, and I still get that pit in my stomach of, like, put the fucking hat on. You just bought that thing, you idiot. What are you doing? Put the fucking hat on. And I don't know what it is. I just have that sick feeling of, like, if I'm not using what I bought or what I purchased right now for a long period of time, like, then I'm just wasting it. Like, I don't know what it is. I just get that bad feeling in my stomach of, like, I'm not using what I just bought. I need to use it right now, or else that I'm going to feel terrible about myself. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe I value money too much. I just love having the money in my account. You know that feeling of opening up your account on, like, your app or your computer, and you see the money and you're like, oh yeah, I like that. Stay where you are. Don't change. In fact, actually, go up. I like that. But when you go down, oh, I don't like when you go down. Ooh, I hate that. I hate that so much. Go back up again. I like when you go back up. I like that. Now, I'm not saying, like, talk to your bank account like that. Like, don't be like, hey, baby, how you doing? How's it going? You up, you down? What's going on? We up again. That's right. That's what I like to see. Keep it that way, okay? Hey, what you doing down? I don't like that. Fix it. I don't like it when you're down like that. Get it together. I don't want to see that again. There we go, baby. Now we're up again. I like it. I like it. I like it. Am I greedy? Maybe. Sometimes I think that I'm just, like, stingy. Maybe a bit like, I don't know what I would call myself. Not greedy, but, maybe just cautious about my money and where I spend it and where I put it towards. And you think about it, like, how many streaming services are there? Like, you got Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video, what is it? Paramount Plus, and so on and so on. Whenever I see that, like, all these, like, streaming services get charged on, like, between, like, 1 and 2 days of my, the calendar month, I mean, I just want to, like, die. I mean, because seeing that, like, all that money withdrawn at the same time, it kills me, man. It kills me. I don't like seeing that. I think, like, man, like, was this supposed to be better than cable? You think about it, like, Amazon Prime Video, you get that with Amazon Prime. I believe you can only get that with Amazon Prime. So when you buy it with Amazon Prime, that already costs you like over $100. Netflix is like maybe $18, I think, for like 4 screens at once, HD, I think. I think that's the plan that I have. Disney Plus, thank God, bundles Hulu and ESPN Plus. That's like maybe like I think like a $12.99, I think, maybe more. And HBO Max, we pay for HBO with the cable, so we get that for free technically. And then Paramount's like $5-6, I think, and then that's gonna go up. And Apple is like, again, 5 or 6, which I also pay for. So we're looking like over possibly over $300 of streaming services. Like, I thought we were supposed to be cutting the cord, like in the reference of not paying as much money for cable TV. Like, where have we gone now? We're going backwards again. We're gonna go backwards, and you gotta like think that Netflix, Disney, HBO, they gotta like, in the future, I think that they would like try to maybe not maybe one not buy another, but like collaborate. Like, oh, you buy this, you get a subscription to this. I mean, because they're all trying to make money. They're all trying to like be the thing. They're all trying to be the best. They're all trying to be the one streaming service with that show, with that movie, with that library of content. I hate that word too. I hate the word content. Drives me insane. Content. I always hate when like YouTubers are like, oh, I gotta go make some content, or I gotta go shoot this. It could be used for content, or take this photo. It's for content. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it. I don't like it. It drives me up a wall. Content. I mean, but what else are you going to call it, though? Oh, I need this for a video. I need this for a photo. I need this for a song. A short, a clip. I mean, I guess that's better for me, but like other people are like, no. Content. And it's almost, it's weird because like you will see people like, you know, just in the news like today, I think Devin Dobrik, he apparently like this guy, his name is Jeff Whitnick, I think isn't it? I think that's it. That's what it is. I think that is Jeff. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Actually, let me just type it in real quick. Jeff Whittick. Yeah, Jeff. Okay. So I didn't look too much into it, but he's making a documentary about like him and David Dobrik, like what they did. And one of the things is like he gets injured because like he's on an excavator, which is like a big like bulldozer type machinery. Vehicle, automobile, if you will. It moves, and it's a big machine. Gigantic. You would see this in construction, maybe demolition, renovations, whatever. You would see it like, it's not meant, it's meant for the use is for heavy duty. I'm talking about moving like walls, buildings. It's meant for heavy stuff. It's not like a cherry picker where you just like lift, get to a high place. It's not like a forklift. It's not that small. It's a pretty big machine. And the guy who like, basically they had like a rope tied to the excavator that they would spin. And the guy would start like at a low point, in at like a lake or something, a body of water, and that they would spin him around and around and around. And you can actually find the video. It'll describe it a lot better, but he's spinning it, and like the guy is like, first of all, it like gets pretty freaking crazy how fast he's spinning and how much he's spinning. He's like almost parallel to the damn water. And I think like David like just stops doing it. And then obviously like when you stop something like that, you're spinning, it's gonna go wild pretty fast. And the guy bangs his freaking face on the excavator and like busts it up, and you see like these photos of him like with like a broken face, a fucked up eye, and saying like David Dobrik was the idiot or the moron who was driving the excavator or operating the excavator. And you think about it and you're like, oh yeah. I mean, Daniel Dobrik, if you've seen any of his vlogs and with his vlog squad, everything is for the vlog. You know, like there's almost like no boundaries, no limits. Like not a single limit for what they can and can't do. And I've seen some of his videos, and you know, Donald Dobrik just like he'll be like he'll have somebody on fire, somebody in danger of their lives, somebody who's like uncomfortable of what's happening, or that they could be seriously hurt or traumatized or affected by whatever's happening. No, keep rolling. It's content. Keep rolling. It's content. It's content. Keep rolling. You know, and I get it. Like the guy like exploded back like a few years ago. Like, I'll admit, like some of his vlogs are like pretty insane, and I do get why that they got so many views, because like they are insane. And he never made them like too long. I think that they're all like 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Cool. But yeah, he kept them pretty like tight nipped, I guess. I don't know. Pretty tight, condensed, and like you just hear in these vlogs, for the vlog, for the content. This is all content. Come on, man, it's content. What do you do, man? It's content. It is content. So hearing that all over and over and over and over again, it's not just him. It isn't just him. It's all these other people that have like YouTube channels that just do like challenges, vlogs, you know, whatever goes, whatever happens, nobody's life is endangered, and then everybody's life is endangered. And then for the vlog, YOLO, all that crap that keeps, you know, sort of like repeating, like we saw it with like, you know, back with when the first vlog I saw was like Casey Neistat back in the day. He would just skateboard to work all the time. Work on his skateboard, work on his cameras, skateboard back home, go to sleep, do it all over again, and do it, repeat, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Then we saw Logan Paul do like the same thing, like a daily vlog. This is what I do. This is what we're doing. We're going to light this guy on fire. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. Look at this car that I'm driving. I'm going to jump out of a plane. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go eat that. All for content. For content. Like, and I almost got like, it got me like to think about this. Like I get that they're, you know, they're fun to watch. But after a certain point, like after a certain time of watching these vlogs and all this content, at what point do we say, like, I don't want to watch anybody else's life, really? Like, I don't want to watch Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I don't want to watch Danny Dobrik's life anymore. I want to live my life. That's how I felt like when I was watching those. Like, because I have seen a couple episodes or videos, whatever you want to call them. Just after a certain point, it's like I don't care, really. Like I don't care. Like, that's cool that you're living your life, you know, to the fullest. Great for you. That's awesome. But like, I'm just so done of just watching other people's lives. Like the vlog thing, to me, it's like no longer pure. It's no longer everyday life, really. Some people it is, but I think that those bigger guys kind of killed it for me. And they killed like the purity, the realness of it, the realism, if you would say. They kind of killed like the vibe of it too. Every single day had to be better than the previous day, or else it wouldn't get as many views or as many clicks or as many shares or likes, whatever. It just wouldn't perform as well. It's almost like you gotta. I understand that you gotta make every day better than the last day. But at what point do you just kind of like take it easy, take a break, look around? Because life isn't just about go, 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 go. It's about stopping and smelling the roses and smelling the flowers and looking at the animals and looking at life. Just enjoying that you're on this planet. Living life. It's just about, pump the brakes a bit, man. Pump the brakes, because, and I'm sure like they had some vlogs where they're like, oh, it's going to be a chill day. Gonna go do this, do that. And then you see like the viewership is like down. They notice that and they're like, okay, we got to step it up again. Crank it up. And this whole thing like with the excavator feels like they went way too far. Way too far. Like it just feels like they were trying to make a big splash, a big bang, a big, we're back, everybody. We are back. And then it just fell flat on its face like, oh, nope. And from what I know, like this was supposed to be coming out a year ago, I think. And now this guy's making a documentary series about like how this all happened and how like Devin Dobrik is like one of the worst people ever. Even though like I think that this isn't really his fault. Donnie Dobrik, it's not his fault because you kind of signed up for that life. You kind of knew that with Devin Dobrik that you were getting into this kind of like life. Like I don't think in the video he forces you to get on the excavator. I think he's not like holding him at gunpoint, like, get on, bitch, or you're out of the vlog squad. I don't think he's doing that. But he should feel responsible of what happened, though. Because he was using the excavator in a way that he should not have been using it. No one should have been using it like that, by the way. But since he was the one driving it or using it, kind of falls on you like that way. And if you could imagine, like, if Jeff ended up dying or getting seriously injured, like I'm talking about like not just his face, but maybe even paralyzed or having to amputate a limb or breaking his pelvis or something like that, like immobilizing him, it would have been a lot worse. A lot worse. And you can tell, like, I believe he told him to say stay quiet. I could be wrong about that, but I think he said to stay quiet. And it's like, bro, fuck. You got to pay me a lot of money to stay quiet about this. Like, I don't want to be. It's tough, man. But you know what it is? It's all about the content. Get that content. It's crazy. We were talking about Jake Paul earlier, and I think that it's appropriate to talk about the fight that he had on the weekend. The fight that he, if you don't know, he fought Ben Askren, who was a previous or former UFC fighter. And I think that what's happening is that Jake Paul, whom I don't care about, I don't hate him. I don't watch him. I don't pay attention to him. I just don't really care about him. Which is, if he's listening to this, like, if he's listening, Jake, you do you, bro. You do you. I don't care so much about you. Not to be rude, but your entertainment, your content, your personality is not my thing. But when you get into boxing, and I know that you're training to be a professional boxer, I get it. But when you get into sport like that, you're opening yourself up for even more criticism and more commentary on what you do. Now, having said that, I don't buy any of Jake Paul's fights. Not that I don't purchase them, I don't. But I don't buy them legitimacy. The legitimacy of the fight itself. I don't buy it. I don't understand why anybody actually thinks that this guy could actually box an actual boxer. Or that he could, like, fight somebody with fight experience. Like, I know Ben Askren had experience. He was a UFC fighter. But, I mean, you look at that guy, how he came into that fight. I mean, I saw that he had some love handles, a bit of a muffin top. He had some extra weight on him. I'll just say it like that. He had some extra weight, didn't look very fit, whereas Jake Paul looked extremely fit. And he's been putting out videos of him training. So many people have been talking about him training, from Andrew Scholes, Joe Rogan. Everybody's been talking about this guy, Jake Paul. And everybody's saying, like, he could be a fighter, bro. He could actually fight. I think he could win some fights. Like, bro, are you joking? Do you know who he's fighting? Now, I think he's fought 3 fights. 2 of them I know the people that he fought. Ben Askren and Nate Robinson. Now, the Nate Robinson thing was a joke. But not as big of a joke as Ben Askren, because it actually looked like when he fought Nate Robinson that he was actually, a bit on his toes a bit. Kind of a bit like, oh, what's he going to do? I got to brace for this. I got to punch him there. It just felt like he was like on the ropes a bit. Not for very long, but he was a bit more alert. And he knocked out Jake Paul or Nate Robinson. It was kind of, it shows you like these guys, some of these people just shouldn't be boxing. They're taking the sport, right? Boxing has always been like to me, like one of the purest sports out there, because like you can't really fake it. You can't really make it. It can't really be biased. It can't really be predicted. Sometimes it can, but like other times, like you don't really know what's going to happen, really. Besides like Mayweather and all that, but like besides that, it's like, how are they going to fight each other? How are they going to beat each other? How are they going to go at it? How are they going to prepare for it? How are they going to promote it? How are they going to, is it going to deliver? Is it going to be a good fight? Is it going to be a bad fight? Like, what's going to happen? But it feels like this fight with Ben Askren, when I saw the very, barely any fight, he straight up knocks him out like in the first round, like with ease, and then Ben Askren gets up wobbly. The ref is like, no, you can't continue. Jake Paul wins. And then like you see Ben Askren walking away like smiling, like, oh, I just cashed in, baby. I got my check. Let's go home. It almost feels like it's just fake. Like it's being staged. Like it's being like it's almost like WWE. Where like these guys knew what was going to happen. At least one of them did. Like Ben Askren, I feel like Ben Askren like took a dive. He's like, nope, I'm out. And you can just tell like the way he went out there, out of shape, fat. It just looked like, wow, like what did we just pay for, bro? And that's always been my problem with like, not just these fights, but for me, like UFC is hard for me to get into because I don't know a lot of the fighters. Maybe I should. But like if I'm looking at the big card fight, like the headliner on the card, right? The back in the day it was Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, when she got her ass whooped. I just feel like when the UFC fights, MMA, they just go by so fast. They never live. Like, they never go the distance. They never go the full rounds. They always just kind of just get knockout and it's over like that. And I just feel like in this one it was kind of like that. Not even a full round and just pop, knockout, over, done, and your money's gone. You spent like pay-per-view money to watch Jake Paul fight Ben Askren. You got a bunch of concerts and Snoop Dogg being Snoop Dogg, which I don't mind. And a lot of weird commentary. A lot of commentary that just seems like so weird and annoying. Like they were saying fucking and fuck so many times that I just got annoyed of it. It's almost like you kind of want them to be on ESPN and you want them to be on Fox or actual network because they can't curse on there and they're forced to talk about the sport and they're forced to actually articulate what they actually think about the fight and what happened and use other words instead of fuck and all that. Because I kind of take it to like a broadcaster or a comedian. Right? If a comedian is using fuck or cursing so much to just fill like the space of the air or fill up time, then in my personal opinion, that comedian doesn't have what it takes to like just... He relies so much on his cursing and his profanity to make people laugh instead of his jokes and his bits and his material. So it doesn't really... It shows like they weren't really cut out to like speak on this fight or commentate this fight or even broadcast the fight. It just seems like it just didn't feel right, and it got annoying pretty quickly. Other than that, like it was okay. It was fine. If you like Justin Bieber, good on you. If you love Snoop Dogg, you love it then. You loved it. But it's like, okay, this isn't a sport. This is all performance. This is all staged. This is all just entertainment. It's no longer sport. It's no longer who's going to win. It's like, who's going to perform? What's he going to say here? What is Snoop going to say? What are they going to think? And in sports, yeah, you want that. You want like to hear what what people think, what people thought of it, what's going to happen next. You want that too, but you also want the sport. And you want the competition. And when that is stripped away from it, then you just have a show. It's just a show. And then it just feels like it doesn't feel like sport. And that's ultimately like what I think people were, bought the pay-per-view for, was to watch the fight. Not Justin Bieber, not Snoop Dogg, not to hear them say stupid shit on the broadcast. They want to see the fight. And again, like if they'll, who knows if they'll learn, if they'll be better. I'm going to guess that they're not going to be better. Just throwing that out there. They might not be better. But, if Jake Paul actually fights anybody that's worthy of him, like, not even worthy of him, God. If he fights anybody that is a legit boxer, he will probably die. That's the thing. That's the thing with Jake Paul. He's just boxing to get just to get his name up, just to get his record higher. 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0. Who'd he fight? Oh, all these loser, washed up guys, people who should not be fighting. What if he actually fights a boxer? If he actually fights a boxer, like let's say if he fights like Canelo, he's dead. He's dead. Canelo Alvarez has been fighting since he was a boy. Like, I kind of bring it back to, like, Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. You merely adapted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. That's Canelo with boxing. He's been born in it, born to do it, molded by it. There is no way that Jake Paul stands a chance at beating Canelo, Mayweather, Triple G, even Pacquiao. There's no way. He will lose to Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, like, without a question. He could fight somebody who's fighting in, like, a, working his way up, young kid. He's had some losses, but he's winning some. He will lose to that kid because that kid is treating it like it's a sport and that he wants to be great at this sport to make the sport better, not to make Jake Paul better. Not for everybody, including me, to utter his name, Jake Paul, to talk about Jake Paul, to tweet Jake Paul. He's not playing or fighting for that. He's fighting for how good is he? How good is the competition? Can I rise in the competition? And can I be the best boxer that I can be? Jake Paul is fighting how cool can I make myself right here? How much can I get into the news cycle of what they're talking about me? How much can I get into their what ESPN will say? What Joe Rogan would say? Anybody else like that? That's all it is, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. Staying on sports, I think we should talk about the Super League in Europe. Now, if anybody doesn't know, the Super League in Europe was going to be a European elite team of soccer teams from the big major leagues in Europe, La Liga, Serie A, and the Premier League. Now, what was going to happen was this news broke around, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. And since now, it is being put on hold. So let me take you back to the beginning of what happened. Essentially, what happened was, on Sunday, 12 teams announced that they were going to make a Super League. They were going to make a Super League with just them, adding more teams eventually. But these 12 teams were already confirmed, and they already had signed an agreement, signed that they were going to join this Super League. In the Premier League, we had Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Tottenham. I believe that's all 6. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Yeah, that's all 6. And in the La Liga in Spain, we had Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. And in the Italian league, the Serie A, we had Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Juventus. All those teams were supposed to be like founding teams in this league, which means that like they couldn't be relegated, always going to be in it, always going to be in contention. It was going to be a midweek thing. It means you play in the middle of the week and on the weekend, and you would have clashes between those teams and plus more teams that would get in every week. Now you think about this, isn't that kind of like what we do here in America? Right? We don't have relegation. These are so-called like the best teams in the NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever. They're always called, these are the best teams in the world. And playing the best teams in the world should get more recognition. Like, think about it. If Manchester United was playing like Barcelona, and then they played Real Madrid, and then they played Liverpool, and then Chelsea, then Tottenham, and then do it all over again and keep going with that, it would be pretty exciting. Now, I'm an American, so like that, for me, that sounds exciting. Sounds fun. It sounds cool. And then eventually, like, they don't get relegated. They keep playing. They get a big budget so they can sign other players. Even bigger stars would come in, and it would draw a bunch of audience like eyes to it. They might even change the rules a bit. I don't know about that, but like if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they might have changed the rules, how the game is played, the officiating, maybe VAR might be changed. There's a lot of things that we're swirling around of what could happen, and if it was gonna happen. Because later on the details were emerging is like anybody who participates in the Super League will 1, be banned from FIFA, and 2, be banned from UEFA. They run the Champions League. FIFA runs the World Cup. So what they said was essentially, if you participate in the Super League, which again, the biggest clubs in the world, from what they say, they have some of the most talented players that also play in the World Cup. I mean, you think about it like Messi with Argentina, Suarez with Uruguay, Harry Kane with England, so on and so on. And they're going to be banned from competing in the European Cup, the World Cup, Copa America, African Cup of Nations, everything international soccer. So, that also came out, and I thought to myself, this already seems like it's not going to work, because even though that they're going to be making so much money, and so much, they're going to be playing apparently like the best teams, for what they say, in the entire world. When you boil it down, it can be just the richest teams if you think about it, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Those teams in La Liga have the most money. One of those 3 teams in La Liga always wins the La Liga every year. It's predictable. Right? It's not because they win the games, but it's because they're so damn rich. They have so much money they can buy whoever they want. So that's like one of the problems I have with European soccer is that, especially in La Liga, oh my God, you can't even watch it because, like, who's Barcelona going to play now? Oh, they won the league, or it was kind of close there. Oh, yeah, but they still end up winning the league. It's very predictable. Extremely predictable. I mean, look at the Serie A. Juventus just won, like, it's like, I don't know, maybe like more than like 5 times in a row Serie A, the league. So it's like, it's not even, like, worth watching now. And it's not just those 2 places. I mean, PSG in France is also a pretty big, predictable thing too. It's predictable. The only one that isn't as predictable is the Premier League, where in 2016 you saw Leicester City win it all, which was tight. Liverpool won it last year, which was also cool because they haven't won it in years, even though that they're kind of like, praised as a big club, a lot of money, a lot of history, a lot of fans, a lot of supporters worldwide. So you kind of get like, with the Premier League, it's a bit up in the air because I compare the competition with the Premier League a lot to the NBA. It fluctuates. Now with LeBron, it's a bit different to say that, but if you take out LeBron and all his super teams, it has the potential to fluctuate, produce other teams, different teams make different runs. It happens more naturally, I think, in the Premier League than it does in La Liga or Serie A or League One or even the Bundesliga. So that was one of the big things, because like you take those teams out, the 6 that I just said. I think that they said that they were no longer going to be able to compete in the Premier League, I think. And maybe they were, but what I think was going to happen is that you can easily see like a team like, I don't know, like Liverpool. Like, what if they play like all their best players for the Super League, and then they play like their B team or even C team for the Premier League? That automatically kind of like takes away competition. and it's almost like you're phoning it in. You don't care. You're taking out the spirit of the sport. You're taking out the opportunities for other teams like a West Ham or a Leicester or smaller teams that just like try to compete with the bigger teams if they can. If they're good enough, then they will. It's always like you got to think about like it's college football. Like it's college football because like in college football, you can win every game that you play, but you necessarily won't make it to the college football playoff. It all depends on who you play and how you beat them. It's more competitive that way. You have to really consider how you win and how you beat your opponent and how you go about your season, because like if Alabama was to lose the first game of the season or lose the second game of the season or even both, they would probably consider themselves already out of the playoff because the competition is so high. Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Florida State, Texas A&M, they're not going to miss a beat with their games. They're going to be playing them. If Ohio State played like a shitty school, like I don't know, like a really bad, like a lower tier school, and they thrash them by 50 points, and then they play the next week, they play like an actual good school, like Wisconsin, and they get beat by like 20, maybe 17 points. That win diminishes in value, but that loss is going to be a big look at the committee when they look and say who decides to go to the playoff, because only 4 teams at the moment can go to the playoff. So, in the same sense, in Europe and in America with college football, the passions and the competition are what drive those leagues. And what makes college football great is because, look, I get it. I'm not a big fan of college football. I get the pomp. I get like the pomp and circumstance, but I don't really see the quality in it. It's all about pomp and circumstance in like European soccer, though. It's both really, though. The quality's there, and the pomp and circumstance and the passion is there, and it's bundled in. It's cherished. It's held on tight. And you don't want to see it go, because like as soon as you do that, as soon as you take out the competition, and I think a lot of Americans can agree on this, you take out the competition in sport and you take out the passion, the pride, the grind to get to the Champions League, to qualify for that Champions League is so appreciated, and it's so like held to a high standard that you don't want to, you don't want to take it for granted, because next year you could be out of it. You don't want to take that away, that drive, that fire. And I feel like the Super League, at the end of the day, whether it's where it sounds cool and you want to see like all the big matches and you want to see that, you want to see like Manchester United, Barcelona, yeah, you want to see that. But if it's every week, the diminishment of the matchup, the anticipation of the matchup for me would go down. Like, I always try to watch El Clasico, which is Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Those are such good games to watch because the rivalry is very heated. The passions are there. You can feel the energy in the crowd, especially like when there's crowds. You can feel it in them. You can feel like something is about to go down. It's a big clash. It's a big conflict right here between those teams. They do not like each other. And if you get that every other week, the special feeling you get, I don't think after a while will not be there anymore. It'll go away. It'll just be like, oh, we're facing Real Madrid again or Barcelona again. Okay, let's go again. It's not as anticipated. You're not like foaming at the mouth for that matchup. It's like almost every week, every month. So I get it. the Super League was bad. It was a bad idea. It just you can't take what Europe has for soccer and implement like an American thing like that just overnight. You got to if they plan to do that or do something similar to that they have in America, you need to gradually get there. You can't just slap it on them like that. That's not how proper change works for a sport like that. It doesn't work. You're going to get backlash, you're going to get protesting. And I was saying, like, bro, if it happens, then just don't watch the games. Don't go to the games, don't watch them, don't tweet about them, don't do anything, just don't watch them. I mean, eventually, they'll get it and say, like, oh, we can't sustain this, nobody's watching. Nobody's giving us money to the packages on TV. Nobody's buying the tickets. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing that. It's dead. That's what I was saying. I was thinking about that when everybody was going at it, like saying, like, "Oh, it's all these rich people, or we got to protest." Like, no, just I mean, I guess you could, but like, where it really hurts them is in their pockets. You don't buy that package. You don't buy that ticket. They can't sustain it. They can't pay the players, the clubs, what they said, because nobody's reimbursing the banks. It's dead. Just don't buy it. Don't watch it. Simple as that. Nobody watched the XFL. You know, everybody was like, watch it. It's good football. It's violent. It's cool. It's edgy football. But nobody watched it, and then it died. It dies. And I firmly believe that if everybody in Europe, which I think that they could have done, if everybody believed and everybody just didn't watch, within 1 month, maybe even less, the Super League would be dead. Because it would not be able to sustain itself. No, but if nobody watched it, and I truly believe that nobody in Europe would have, maybe a few, but maybe, but like if nobody watched it, it would fail miserably on its face. So I never saw this thing really taken off. Implications with FIFA, UEFA, the World Cup, and all that. I don't see like how players would give up the opportunity to just fuck my country. I don't want to represent them. Fuck that. Like I don't understand how any of those players would just give that up. Say like, no, I don't want to represent my country in this World Cup. You know what? See, I'm going to go play in the Super League. Like, I don't see that, because whether you live in Europe, Asia, Africa, the Middle East, or America, everybody gets brought together by the World Cup every single time it happens. And if you take away Messi, Ronaldo, Kane, Pogba, Mbappe, nobody would watch it. Nobody would watch it, because I'm not saying that you're not going to watch like the other players, or watch like for the just to watch it, but so many other people, kids, watch it because of their favorite player representing their country. You take that away, man, you are some bitter old man then. Bitter, greedy man that just wants to make money. And look, I'm not saying that UEFA and FIFA are perfect. I mean, just today, if you are keeping up with it, they extended like for the Champions League teams from 32 to 36. And they're changing the formats of some of I think that there's like no more knockout stages, or there's no group stage, I think, that they're taking away. It's just going to be like a smaller league. So they're already kind of like, because the Super League is technically what they say on hold, they got to change up the Champions League, because like if the Super League comes back, then what's going to happen? So eventually, I think the Super League in a way will happen. But in order for it to happen, it's got to gradually get there. It can't just get there. You can't do that. You just can't. It's like saying like, okay, we're going to take the NFL and we're going to make, we're only going to have 20 teams in the NFL. And the rest of you are going to be relegated to the ANFL, Amateur National Football League, because we don't think that you're good enough anymore. We don't think that you're professional. We think that you guys are not very good and you hurt our league. It's like that. Or what if, like, Jerry Jones of all people would be like, hey, you know what? I know that we didn't earn it to be in the playoffs this year, but since we're the Cowboys and we are America's team and everybody knows that star is for the Dallas Cowboys, we should be in the playoffs and we should be in the Super Bowl hunt every year. So I'm going to make it my rule that the Dallas Cowboys will always be in the playoffs every single year. And they get a first round bye. That's what it is. Like, that's not fair. Just because that you are the Cowboys and you play in AT&T Stadium and you got the star, you got Dak Prescott, and your name itself, the Dallas Cowboys, is recognized by so many Americans and so many people around the world that you deserve it and you have the most money. No, bro, you guys suck. You guys don't earn it. Nobody wants that. Nobody would watch that. If the Dallas Cowboys were guaranteed a spot with a first round bye in the NFL playoffs, everybody would protest that. Everybody would be like, no, that's not fair. You guys, just because you fuckers suck and you guys are rich doesn't mean you can't be in the playoffs. No, what if the fucking Redskins or the Eagles or the Giants beat you? They deserve it because they beat you. So in a way, you boil it all down. Boil it all down. Take a look. What is this all about? It's all about money. It's all about money. Money always wins. It always wins, and it always will win. You just got to keep fighting for the competition, though. Push it as far as you can with the competition. Don't lose sight of the competition. The competition is what everybody likes in the end. We are humans. We've been competing with each other for centuries. Competition has never lost its edge yet until money came along. Until money became a thing, everybody got greedy. Money kills competition. Sadly, I still believe that money always wins. We just gotta hold out hope. One more thing before I go, though. One more thing. And it's not about sports. It's not about Devin Dobrik. It's not about sports. It's not about Jake Paul. It's about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I'm enjoying, by the way. And if you don't know, the finale is tomorrow, episode 6, the last episode of the series. And I'm excited. I'm ready. I want to know, how is it going to end? What's going to happen to the characters? What's going to happen with the character that everybody hates? Everybody hates this character. And now we will be getting into a bit of spoiler talk. So if you want to dip, go ahead. If you're not caught up with the show, go ahead and dip. I don't know why everybody and their mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, everybody who watches the Falcon and the Winter Soldier hates the new Captain America. If you don't know, the new Captain America, being played by Wyatt Russell, is John Walker. And I have to say, Wyatt Russell, you are killing the role, bro. You are killing it. You're really good at portraying a man who has been thrust upon this situation to be Captain America, to be the best that he can be. But so many things are just being thrown at you that you kind of lose it a bit. You kind of break down. And you know what? The way you play that role, it's amazing. It's one of the better acting performances I think I've seen in the entire MCU. Now, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is pretty up there. I mean, he embodied that character in that role. It was just perfect. But the way Wyatt Russell is playing John Walker, Captain America, is amazing. It's great. But everybody I talk to about John Walker always says, fuck John Walker, fuck that guy, fuck Captain America. And I tend to disagree with them. Look, I know like he's supposed to be the bad guy. Sort of. I think that there's another person that is like Carly Morgenthau is like also like the bad guy, but I think like the main bad guy is supposed to be John Walker. And I've done a bit of research and I looked up John Walker, and he is like the U.S. agent, which is like again spoilers. It is like a anti-hero type Captain America type of character. But I always point to like the way like in the show that he's just doing his job, bro. Like he didn't ask for this. He didn't take it away. He didn't go to the US government and like, I want to be Captain America. I deserve to be Captain America. Now, sure, as the plot as the story rolls out and continues, that does happen. But it's not like he always started bad and was always gonna be bad, and he was just bad from the beginning. Like, no. I mean, when I first saw him, I was like, okay, this is gonna be the new guy. I mean, I've seen like him in the trailers a bit, like just small snippets of like, oh, they're gonna have a new Captain America. And it's like, again, you've heard me on this podcast. I want Sam Wilson, the Falcon, to be Captain America because I love Anthony Mackie and I love his performances, and I love the dude is just an awesome guy. If you see him in interviews, he's the best. And his character is so humble and so qualified if you think about it, because he's not only a veteran, but he's also like a veteran counselor, a traumatic counselor. So like, what a better person to be Captain America than that guy. Anyway, but the show obviously is going into a different direction with John Walker being Captain America. And I always point to like, hang on, okay, so John Walker is doing his job, right? He works for the government, and he's doing his job the best that he can. And I love his friend, his brother-in-arms, Lamar Hoskins. Oh, dude, that guy is so cool. He is so cool. I enjoy him a lot. He's got such swagger to him. He's just such a cool dude. Like, I wish he was my friend. He's such a cool guy. And so they're tasked to be like the new Cap and Bucky, or Cap and Sam, or Falcon, or whatever. Like the new Cap with his new partner or sidekick or whatever. And at first it's like it comes off as like he's trying his best. You can tell he's not trying to be Steve. He's not trying to be like an imposter of Steve Rogers or whatever. Do like exactly what he did and do it like by like exactly what he did. And everybody's like saying like, oh, how are you gonna be the like you got all these medals of honor, you did all this, you did that, and he says like, well, I'm more of a humble person. And then they're like, oh, how are you humble? I mean, like, you are a superhero. Do eagles screech when they see you? Like, no, like, and you look at his life, like with his wife and Lamar, the friendship that they have, and like just what he is, like he's just a veteran dude. That's all he is. Calm down. Like, why does everybody hate him just because he's wearing the Captain America suit? Okay, I get it. Like, Steve Rogers did it, but like, still, like, Jesus Christ, like this absolute hate and hatred just to some person who's just doing it, and it's not even like their idea. He didn't say give me the suit. I am Captain America from the start. He was just trying to do a job. And then you go on in with the show, and it's just like, he asks for Sam and Bucky's help, and they reject him. It's like, bro, I mean, like, what kind of like allies are you? Like, you do no help? No help? That's it? He's trying to reach out and say like, hey, I need some help. Like, I'm Captain America now. You may not like it, but that's how it is right now, and I can't control it. And it's like, are you gonna help me or not? And then they're like, oh, John, we don't need you, man. Get away, John. Especially Bucky, man. Like, I get like Steve was his best bud and all that, and he had that shield, but like Bucky, you got to be a better person there. Like again, we get that he isn't Steve Rogers. We get that, but it's not like he can change it. He can't shapeshift to who he is. And then it's just like every time he asks for help, or every time he's just trying to do something well, they push this guy away. And it's just like, well, bro, like you're like, I'm not saying that you're bullying him, but you're just like, you're not even helping him out. He's trying to do his best, like, and he knows that you guys can help him out, but you're like not even willing to help him out. So I'm not gonna blame like his I don't like fully blame his turn on Bucky and Sam. I don't, because spoiler alert, his brother in arms Lamar, sadly, I couldn't believe it, was killed by Carly, and I was like, really? She killed him? And then like I was like, oh my god, like this is gonna kill this guy. Sure off, he snaps, he rages out, he kills somebody. Now, if you think about this, he didn't kill. Obviously, he killed the wrong person. He did, but it's just like, what? I mean, like, he just saw his best friend and his partner die right in front of him, and like, I don't know what you would do. How would you even react with that? To that? I have no idea. I know it's a show and it's not real, but it's still like, you think about it like, oh shit. Well, what would I do in that situation? I have no idea. I probably wouldn't kill somebody, but like, depending on the situation and depending on how it all happens, who knows, man? Emotions could take over you. You can just go insane. Like, hopefully you would stay calm, but still like, man, that's your best friend. That's your bro, dude. And he just died. It's tough, but like, and everybody through the process just didn't like him, didn't reason with him, didn't see anything about him, like just saw him as like this guy who's trying to be Captain America, which he is trying to be Captain America, but he's not, clearly not trying to be Steve Rogers, and it's just the absolute disrespect and the hate. God, it was kind of getting annoying. Like, come on, bro. He's just a person. Like, I get it, like, Captain America back in the day, like Steve Rogers, he wasn't put on a pedestal. And I get it because of what he did. But you also have to remember, like, those were movies. These are TV shows. We get more interaction with the characters. We get more detail. We are so spoiled. We get to almost see, like, almost every crucial moment with these characters now. We get to see who they are and what they become and what they've gone through and how they got to that point. And I think that if you just say like, oh, he's the worst ever, he's the worst, like, and if you see like what, and you watch the show and see from beginning to where it is now, you can't really say, I mean, I guess you could, but like, you have got to have some sympathy and like look at everything that he's done, everything that's happened, his arc. Yes, he's flawed, but he isn't horrible. He might be at the end, we don't know, but as of now, it's just like, bro, his best friend died. And he was just trying to do his job, and Sam and Bucky were just ignoring him the entire time, saying, fuck off, John. Or do it, get out of our face, John. We don't even want to help you out because we're so salty about Steve not being there. But Steve, at that point, he's lived his life in the other timeline. He's with Peggy or whatever. He's done his thing. He's over Captain America. So you gotta know that he didn't steal it from Steve. He didn't steal it from Sam. Sam gave away the shield, but then the government's like, okay, we got to get a new guy. Let's choose this guy. He's got a good record in battle. Let's do this guy. And that's what happened. That's just what happened. I want Sam to be Captain America so badly. Yes, I do. But at the same time, we can't just say like, fuck John Walker. Fuck John Walker. Everything he does, fuck John Walker. Like, I don't get it. But that, you know what, that's just my opinion. That's where I stand on John Walker, on Captain America. This version of Captain America. It's a bit, and it's supposed to do this to you. You know that, right? This is why I love this show, is because Marvel has finally done something that conflicts you with a so-called bad guy who's kind of a good guy and not fully a bad guy, because at the end of the day, he just killed some Joe Schmo. I mean, we get a little bit of a backstory about him being like a big fan of Captain America back in the day, but it's not like it's just used to get you to feel something about it. It's not like a major character. I mean, come on. And, I mean, we'll see how it happens, how it goes. I'm excited because I feel like if it ends like in a way that John Walker isn't as bad as you think, and people still just hate John Walker because he's not Steve Rogers, then it's just bias area, I guess. Which I get. I mean, I'm biased in some movies too. I get it, I do, but I feel like in the show, there's so much more to John Walker than just his actions. There's more behind John Walker. Even like when he was talking about with Lamar before he took the serum, like, he's remembered, like, he knows that those days that he got the Medal of Honor, those are still the worst days of his life. And that he was like, and what did they give us? A medal. So, like, you know that he doesn't like what he's done. You know that, but since he's a soldier, and the government's going to say, go do this. I mean, like, you got to have sympathy for him because, again, that's his job. The world is super cruel, man. What happens in battle is cruel. And in my opinion, it shouldn't be reported on. It's too much bad shit that happens in combat. It's just, and we don't need to hear about it. At least not in the way of like a media reporting, a book, a series maybe, but in the lights of like a news broadcast or a media report, I don't think if it translates that well into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, with news, it's weird because it's like, good news is expected, right? Good news is something that it should happen, and you expect it to happen. Like somebody saves a puppy out of a tree, out of a fire. You expect that because you expect people to do the right thing. You expect it, and sure, it's uplifting. You'll see the headline and you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's good. That makes me feel nice and warm inside. But if you see bad news, so-and-so gets shot, so-and-so got robbed, so-and-so died, and that shit spreads because bad news sells. It's not expected. It's not predicted. It catches you off guard. You can't believe it. You're enthralled by it. You're like, I gotta show this with somebody happens. So, and this isn't just because of the show. This goes big on like how news is like spread nowadays. It's crazy. Good news is expected. And when you see it, you're like, huh, that's good. Bad news isn't expected. It's chaos. And people have the need to show people about it. And that's why it sells. And that's why everybody, almost all the time you see like news reports on like local, national, international news, it's always bad news. And can't something good happen? It does happen every day, but we don't want to show you about it because you won't click on it. You'll see the headline like, oh, cool, good. You see a bad headline and you click on it immediately. Then you share it. Then you talk about it. Then you tweet about it. Gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. And that's going to be it today, folks. Thank you so much for listening on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. If you do, thank you. I appreciate that. I would love if you commented, liked, subscribed on YouTube. That'd be so appreciative. Thank you so much. I would love, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, rate and review. Give me some feedback. I would love that so much. I think that this was a bit of a funny episode at the beginning, and we got to a bit of a serious stuff with the Super League and all that. Devin Dobrik, which again, I've been saying his name wrong all the time just because I don't like the guy. I feel like I feel like the guy just looks like a cartoon character. He's too goofy to be real. He's too goofy. I don't enjoy that. I get annoyed, and maybe I shouldn't be annoyed, but at the end of the day, like, I can't be the only person that just gets annoyed at his fucking face. Not like I just want to give it a little punch sometimes. I mean, like, nowadays you don't see it because, he's in trouble. But, I don't know. Goofy, cartoon-looking motherfucker, just, I don't know. I have no idea. But thank you again for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Leave some feedback. That'd be such appreciated. And I will see you back next week.